Joey Diaz has announced that he is quitting his podcast. So I'm going to play his explanation of why. Then I'm going to give you my thoughts on why he's really quitting his podcast. He went on Andrew Schultz and talked about this a little bit too. So you can watch that on the Flagrant 2 channel. Am I surprised? Yeah, not really. But let's see what Joey Diaz had to say about it.
Had an interesting couple days. For starters, again, I'm very sorry about the podcast. Listen, man, I started the podcast to get out of my funk. It helped me. I didn't just want to be a fucking bumpy sitting here. But let's face it, once I got my head together, I still couldn't fucking function. I still couldn't think of things, and I just got sick and tired of faking the funk. I'm a lot better with you guys on this podcast. It's a little bit more personal. I tried to carry this over into the joint, but it just wasn't working, you know. I did Andrew Schultz yesterday, and again, you go on these podcasts. These podcasts are successful because of the energy, guys. My podcast had no energy no more. I was getting burnt out just by the powers of be. And it was just time to shut it down like I did with the comedy in January, just to see what the fuck you really want to do. I will continue the Patreon. This week we will not have a movie of the week because, to be honest with you guys, we were going to do a podcast this week, but Mike got sick. He's well now. He's recovering. He's going to be fine. I love the guy to death. He had me worried there, but, you know, it all works out, as we discussed on the fucking podcast in the previous fucking weeks. You know, so I won't have an album of the week up or a movie of the week, but maybe I'll do an audio one. Who the fuck knows? You know, I'm just trying to figure this all out as I go along. This is not, I've never said I'm not going to do the podcast again or anything like that. I just want to see where my heart takes me, guys. Sometimes, you know what, for years we're rushing ideas, and I'm happy some of them work and some of them fail. I just didn't like where the direction, where the podcast was going. I wasn't getting any better at it. I put out the book. I'm all out of stories. I'm sick and tired of dipping into those stories, and I'll tell you why. I get anxiety from them. I don't know it, but I do eventually because I'm thinking about that shit. So I had to shut off my mind to that. And I had shut off my mind to what's going to happen the next 3 months, and I'm just going to fucking play it by ear. You know what I think will happen? This is just between us. I think that I'll stop doing the podcast. And, you know, after about a month or two, you still got something to say. My wife don't want to hear it, and my daughter don't want to hear it. And it would just be nice. I was just got off the phone with Josh Wolf when I got back from the doctor this morning. I had to go to the doctor. He looked at my knee. It's getting better, blah, 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 blah. You know, I went to the gym afterward. But I was talking to Josh Wolf, and we were talking about when stand-up was just simple in our lives. I go, if I could just take it back to that. Because we were broke. We couldn't make rent. But stand-up was so much fun on Monday and Tuesday nights in Seattle at the Underground. It was just, that was my open mic, guys. Even though I started in Denver and I moved, Seattle was my open mic. An open mic, you'll pick an open mic and that's where you'll grow the most at. You feel comfortable, we all get comfortable. But that club I grew the most at. I'm very thankful for the opportunity. I had a funny feeling Seattle would bring out a different animal in me, and it did. Now back to the podcast and all this shit. And, you know, I just gotta, listen, guys, I don't want to do clubs anymore. Why go get Starbucks with Mercy? There's a kid there that's an aspiring comic, and he gave me a list of all the little open mics, coffee shops, back rooms. You know, that seems like more fun. You go, you talk to the young comics, you inspire them, you know, they ask you questions. I get more out of that. Who cares about the money? Who cares? That's the problem. We all want money, but we're not going to know what to do with it when we get it. You think it solves all your problems, and not even close. Not even close. You know, that's what we've been fooled. So when you write your goals out, make sure you put down, yeah, I want money, but what you're going to do with it. What you're going to do with it, who you're going to do it with, blah, 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 who you're going to take care of. You know the fucking deal. But besides that, I'm happy about Memorial Weekend. I'm going to...
All right, so He's quitting his podcast, Uncle Joey's Joint. He used to do the one with Lee Syatt. Something tells me not having Lee is a reason why he's quitting this new one. But I think mostly what it is I don't think he likes sitting there and having to do the entire hour or more than an hour by himself. I know he technically has a producer guy there with him, but that guy doesn't really ever talk. And I think he's just sick of I have to sit here for an hour and just basically talk to myself. Whereas he's going to continue to do the Patreon thing. He's going to do that anyway, but it's just going to be, 15 minutes. It seems like a lot more manageable thing instead of, I have to go on camera. I have to sit here and make up anything for an hour. And I have to babble and just babble and just babble. And maybe I think if he did it, because he drops it on a YouTube channel, that podcast is Uncle Joey's Joint is mainly free. If he just went live and got the live chat going and interacted with the people, I think he would like it a lot more. And accept super chats and stuff. But it seems like maybe he doesn't want to do it that way. He wants to focus more on stand-up. I know he's got his book out. But that was his explanation of why he's quitting his podcast. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.